The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to the webinar. Ron here at Ablesys. We'll go over the charts and take a look at the signals, and I'll show you the best way to use the software. Intraday, real choppy day today. Yesterday, one of the best days of the year. So we had, great day and not so great day. Just because of the price action, it just was difficult. But you had a lot of phone calls from people who don't have Abletrend, and they really got beat up today. But the nice part about the guidance chart is that we have two time frames combined together into one chart, and we don't take a trade until everything agrees. We have to have three indicators agree and two different time frames, and that's what keeps the risk down. But let's jump in and take a look. Here's a stock chart. I always start off with a stock chart. This is a daily, weekly chart, more for the longer term trading. And it's still the same colors and dots and the same rules, no matter what you trade. A lot of people say, well, what does it work best with? Or if I show let's say a stock chart, they go, oh, well, I want to look at an E-mini chart. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to show you how to use it, what to look for, where to pinpoint to buy. What's a buy when you look at a chart? What's a sell? Where do I put my stop loss? I could tell you this is a Euro chart. I mean, wouldn't matter. The whole point is to know exactly where to put your stop losses, where to buy, where to sell. That's, of course, the most important point. So, again, regardless of what the chart is, and this is a daily Roku daily weekly combination, this is what we're looking for. Blue bar, red bar, red dot, red X. In fact, I'm going to take SIG off because we don't need that. So we want red bar, red dot, red X. The first time they all come together. It's that simple. The first time they all come together, we're going to buy it. These little red dots are the hidden resistance points in the market on the daily chart. They stop or block the prices from going higher. Just like in these these 7 or 8, 10 times that I'm pointing out here. Now, we're going to stay in the trade as long as those red dots are there. We're safe. We've got a wall of protection above the price. And the way we'd exit is on a blue bar, blue dot. However, we put stop losses a little bit above these red dots. We put them at the previous higher row of red dots. So, for example, like when the prices are right here, there's the little red dots above, the stop losses would go there. Previous higher, small red dots. Not the red dot above it, because it's going to often hit it, bounce off of it, and go back down again. We put it at the previous second higher row of small red dots. That's where we want to put the stop loss. However, we have a quicker exit because, especially for the intraday charts, we like to put our stop loss just a little bit above, and it's really more for the intraday, the 3 green bar exit, but we always put the stop loss just a little bit in 1 point above the green bar. 1 point above the green bar when we're short. So this way, we would have picked up this entire profit here. Finally, we'd have been stopped out right there. So we shorted it or bought puts at 66 if you were using Abletrend and following the guidelines that we go by, and you have to be serious about it. You'd have been out at 35. So that's a fantastic trade. Buy signal is right here. There's the first time you get the combination of a blue bar, a blue X, and a blue dot. That means 3 different indicators and 2 different time frames are all in agreement. The odds would be greatly stacked in our favor. I'm going to ride that baby all the way up from 41. Abletrend gave this signal a month and a half ago. We're still in the trade today at 68. That's like 50% in a month and a half. Just following the Abletrend signals. So stock traders are having a lot of fun lately using the software. That's for sure. As you can see, nothing but blue dots below. That means stay in the trade. You're safe. You've got a wall of protection. That's where the hidden or invisible support in the market is. So just stay short, stay long. Just put your stop loss just a little bit under that. Stop loss right now goes right there. You got a row of 3 dots right here. That's blocking it from going lower. There's the next step down, or the previous lower blue dot right there. So stop loss right now is at 60. We entered the trade at 41. Wow, the worst we can do is make 50% on that trade. And that's pretty crazy. That's fantastic. Now, losing trades too. Got to be fair about it. Definitely will be losing trades. Definitely risk in trading. Trading is not easy. I'm not here to mislead anybody or exaggerate things, and I hate when that's done to me. And you try and make it sound a lot better than it is. Trading is difficult. If it was that easy, the world would just be sitting in a computer. However, the reason is it's the discipline part. Most people can't do it. Some people you can give tomorrow's results today and they'll lose. You go, well, how's that possible? You just can't do it. And that's okay. It's not for everybody. There's nothing wrong with that. But you just have to have the patience and the discipline to take the trades, every trade, because you don't know before the trade. Because you can't pick and choose. How would anybody know which ones are going to be the winners and losers? Obviously, if we knew that answer, we'd never lose. It would be too easy. So, gotta be realistic about it. And let's take a look at a intraday E-mini chart. I was asked to look at yesterday because we had that big move yesterday. It was a 50-point winner trading the E-mini S&P, which is $2,000. But then today, it was choppy, and I'm going to go over that too. I'm not here to, I don't cherry pick. We tell it like it is both ways, the good and the bad. I don't like when that's not done to me, so, I won't do that to anybody else. Treat everybody the same way that I would want to be. So, well, initially we had about a break even. We made a little bit. Let's just call that a break even. I got to run through this chart. So there's an obvious no trade zone because we never buy if the red X is above. The X's are the 3-minute hidden resistance. The dots are the 1-minute hidden resistance. But this is what we're looking for. As I mentioned before, you've got to have triple confirmation. Red bar, red dot, red X. The first time that comes in, we're short. Stop loss goes 1 point above the top of this red price bar. 1 point above. Then when the dots start to come down, we just trail the stop loss at the second higher row of small red dots. I go over all of this in the one-on-one trading session, because this is the beginner webinar. There's a lot of people here who don't, it's the first time they're seeing the softwares right now. You don't even have a trial yet. I offer to everybody a one-on-one trading session. If you don't do it, you've got to be honest. You're not going to get your money's worth out of it. Because there's more I can show you in 15 minutes in a one-on-one trading session than you can watch 100 videos and spend 100 hours on your own, and you'll learn more in 15 minutes, you and I talking together. It makes it a lot easier to teach somebody the right way to do it that way. And that's why you're entitled to that. It's included in the 1-month trial. Just this question of whenever you have 15 minutes, I'll gladly call and do that for you because we can connect together, our computers, we can look at the trades together. So we had a nice little trade right there. And we didn't get out of that trade because our stop loss was up here. So we never got out. And he said, wait a minute, you got the 3 green bars. Remember, stop loss goes 1 point above the 3 green bars. Let's take the worst case scenario and say you got stopped out there. Worst case scenario, you didn't. But I always like to take the worst case scenario. Again, I'm not here to exaggerate anything. It's just, that's not the right way to do business. It's fooling people. I don't go for that. Okay? Red bar, red dot, red X, we'd be right back in again here on this perfect sweet spot. The sweet spot is a red bar, red dot, red X after the price tests or touches resistance. Well, that's easy enough right there. So we're short at 28.10. And we took this one all the way down. Remember, stop loss goes at the 1 point higher of the 3rd green bar in a row. Right there, we would finally be stopped out because we put our stop. There's the 3 green bars. Stop loss is 1 point higher. We're out at 81. Oh, we shorted it. I mean, at 28.10, out at 81. That's 40 points. $2,000 per one contract. I got clients tell me they're trading 50 contracts at a time. Now, that's crazy to me, but they say, none of my business, I don't ask. That's a lot of money in just trading one contract. Again, we keep it very conservative, very low risk. Re-entry is right there. That's a sweet spot. The price came back up, touched the red dot, and even if it was in 1 point of the red dot, we'd still say that's okay. But it touched the red dot, and there's your green. Green means sideways. There's your red bar again. The close or the finish of that red bar, or really the open of the next bar, because it takes a second, to put your trade in. So the open of the next bar is right there. Red bar, red dot, red X. 3 indicators, 2 time frames, all combined to go short. Perfect. Down it went. Stop out right there. I picked up another 5 points on that trade. Now we're into the big leagues. Rest of the day was pretty much about it was actually another winning trade right here. But no, that's in the dead zone. The dead zone's from 12:30 to 2 o'clock Eastern, and that would be 9:30 to 11 Pacific. We don't trade during that time because we studied thousands of trades and found out that over the long run, you broke even during that time. So we call that the dead zone because that's usually when the market is very sideways and choppy. But overall, yesterday was well over 50 points, which equals $2,000 per contract. Okay, great. That's terrific. Like you get a day like that maybe once a couple times a year. You get a day like that. Then you get a day like today. Fortunately, you only get a day like today once or twice a year using Able Trends Indicator because we have so many of these no trade zones. But was a very erratic, difficult price action today for anybody in the world, Able Trend or not. Fortunately, we got the no trade zone there. We just had a whole bunch of no trade zones there. We have all these no trade zones because it's got red and blue together. That means stay away. But looking at it from the open to today, made a little bit of money on the downtrend, but then it got ugly. There's your blue bar, blue dot, blue X. Stop loss 1 point below the bottom of that first blue bar. Stop that right there. Lost a couple points in that trade. Same thing over here. Blue bar, blue dot, blue X right there. Stop loss 1 point below the bottom of the bar. Stop out right there. Again, lost a couple points. We had a bunch of trades today where we lost a couple points. Fortunately, it wasn't 5 or 10 points, because we always have stop losses in place. But it wasn't, it was just that kind of day. It was just up, down, up, down, up, down. Just like a yo-yo all day long. It was impossible for anybody to win. Nothing you can do about that. Boy, I wish I certainly could. Because, anything I could do to help, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But again, there's your triple confirmation. Stop loss at the bottom of the bar. A couple of minutes later, we got stopped out, lost a couple of more points. So it was just that kind of a day all day long. Nothing you can do about that. That's just the way it goes. Little bit of a winning trade right here. Again, there's your triple confirmation. Stop loss goes 1 point under the green bar, so we weren't stopped out there. Right, 1, 2, 3, we were stopped out right there. 1 point under the third green bar. Picked up about 2 points on that trade. Now let's even call it 1.5 points because I always like to downgrade the winning trades. Say they're even less than what they might have been. Not the opposite by saying more. Triple confirmation on the short right there, and we were out right there. It was just a little before the dead. No, actually, that was in the dead zone. You know what? That was in the dead zone. And would have only made a point anyhow. Nope, dead zone wasn't good today, which is good, which is why we call it the dead zone, which is why we weren't in it. Yeah, triple confirmation there, and we'd be out right about there. It was about a break even. Obviously, no trade here. Triple confirmation there, blue bar, blue dot, blue X, and we'd have been stopped out there. Lost 1 point. It was just a bunch of 1 and 2 point losers, a couple of 1 and 2 point winners, a couple of break evens, but overall, it was a down day. I mean, definitely, lost a little bit on, lost on the day. Finally, believe it or not, the end of the day, 5 minutes before the close, we had the best trade of the day, where we shorted it, triple confirmation to go short, and we'd have been, and we always out at 4 o'clock New York close, which is right there. As it turns out, that would have been 3 points, I got a little bit of money back. But by that time, you know what? It's the end of the day. It was a down day. I'm not even going to count that as a winner, even though the software picked it up. We only talk about real life trading here. And by that time, it was like, you were getting beat up all day long. It was like you were in a fight. Not even going to count that right there. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. It's always difficult. But with the software, boy, it sure does make a big difference. I'm going to go through a couple of questions real quick. Yes, Tom, this is the 1 minute, 3 minute combination that was over 100,000 profit last year. It was actually well over that. I'm even saying a little less because nobody would believe me if I say what the real profit was. So again, I do the opposite of what everybody does, and instead of exaggerating, I do the opposite. I say a little bit less than what the reality actually was. But one lot trading in 2018, if you took every every trading day between 9:30 and 4 o'clock Eastern, was a great day, and looking real well today too. Geez, I'm already a couple of minutes over, but I'm going to go through these quick trades real quick. Frank, the NQ chart, pretty much the same as the ES. You know the rules by now, that's for sure. Same rules, same color, same dots, just a different chart. No, we don't take trades during the dead zone, Michael. No, sir. We just don't do it. Mike M is asking, the green went above the red dots, 1021. Again, Michael, same rules, same color, same dots. So, this chart wouldn't be any different than any other chart. 1021. 1021 is right. 1021, there was no trade at 1021, Michael. So, Mike M, you have me puzzled. Would you have gotten in at 1021? 1021 is right in here, right in a classic no trade zone. So, no trade there, that's for sure. 1021 is right here. No, red dot's above, blue X is below. Not even close to a trade right there. Mike says he lost a couple hundred today, but he made 1,400 yesterday. Mike M. Great job, Michael, I know. I wish every day could be like yesterday, but that's what happens. But hey, you're still 1,200 ahead in 2 days, so, that's the bad part of trading that we all hate today, but love when I hear that. Had some beautiful, just fantastic emails. Another client that he made 1,600, another made 1,100. It was a great day yesterday. Today wasn't so fun. I gave back a couple hundred today. Tomorrow's a new day, Mike Z. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You can use the bands if you like, Mike. That's fine if you do. No, I haven't used the bands in a couple of months now. Just not. Bands are from more, multi-lot traders. However, you certainly have the option to do that and get out when it hits the bands. Absolutely. 1650 for Frank yesterday. Good job, Frank. Fantastic job. I know probably lost a couple hundred today, but that's for sure. There's just nothing you could do about that. James, can it be this simple? Well, I'm here 15 years, every single day for 15. Well, probably take a couple days off a year for 15 years, James. So I don't, I'm not here to fool anybody. That's for sure. I wouldn't have been here that long. You just follow the rules. It's simple. Here's the hard part. Doing it is the hard part. There's emotions involved. There's money involved. A lot of people can't do it. As I said before, I know people, and I don't mean this in a bad way, because I really mean that. I'm really saying this in a good way. Trading is not for everyone. Some people, you can give them tomorrow's results today and they'll lose. You say, well, how's that possible? They just can't do it. Well, when the heat is on and you're in the battle of trading, they just can't do it, especially if a couple of losses in a row come in. I know the feeling. We all do. Yeah, it's tough. He says, haha, I know what you mean. It's tough when you're in the heat of the battle. But again, you get a day like today, we lost a couple $100. I'm the first to say it. Using the signals. It was about a $300 loss today. That's not a fun day. Of course, you get a day like yesterday where you made, 14, 15, 1600. You can stomach it. But if for any reason, you couldn't trade yesterday or you made a mistake or something, it's not fun. You get a couple of days in a row like this. It stinks. I hate it. However, you got to be disciplined to take all the trades, follow the rules and guidelines to the T. Here's the hard part right there. Following them to the T and stick it out. Because we know in the long run you'll come ahead. We know that. We've got 15 years of trading, of records and trading and charts and signals to show that. The hard part is doing it. I know I keep repeating that, but it is. And I want to make that clear to everybody. There's a lot of risk in trading, and there's going to be losing days. So I don't want to mislead anybody. I just hate when somebody does that to me. So I'm real careful not to do that to anybody else. You're right, second guessing. Cheryl says, I don't have the data feed name at the bottom of my chart like yours. Well, you can name it anything you like, Cheryl. I just named it ES133 minute. You can name the workspaces anything you want. You click File, Save Workspace As, and then you can name it everything you like. That's just what I chose to name it. And I use eSignal data feed. I hope that helps. Yeah, Mike says, thanks, Ron. You never promised an ATM machine. I wish it was true. Boy, nobody takes this more serious and wants everybody to do good, better than me. And nobody takes their job more serious. I can assure you that. I charge so hard that I want everybody to do so well. Yeah, James, shoot me an email and we can do that tomorrow. Cheryl says you have Able highlighted in the green at the bottom. Again, Cheryl, I use eSignal data feed. That's why. If you use Infinity or other data feeds, you're gonna have different colored green boxes. It doesn't matter. Your charts are still perfectly correct. You're welcome, James. Mike Z, when do the daily bars print on the stock charts? They print all during the day, just like a 1 minute chart. You get a same thing for all charts, Michael Z. You get a red, blue, green bar, whatever's going on during the day, and then once it prints, meaning once the bar is final, whether it's a 1 minute bar, a 30-minute bar, or a daily bar, once it's over, it's final and it will never ever change again. So yeah, same thing. Yep, Tom, give me a call tomorrow. I'll be glad to help you, sir. Yeah, Michael Z says it perfect. The mechanics are simple. The emotions are the hard part. That's what I drive into everybody. That's the hard part. But if you can, that's why the software has no emotion and does so well. The more you can follow it and lean on it and use it and stick by the guidelines, the better you will always do. Lincoln says, can this be the same charting system on NinjaTrader? Yes, sir, exactly the same. Same colors and dots, same rules. So if you have NinjaTrader, you would purchase our NinjaTrader add-on. You're welcome, Frank. What time is the daily bar final? At the close at the close of the bar, which is the close of trading at 4 o'clock Eastern time, Michael. All right, looks like we got everybody's questions taken care of. Thanks for being here, everyone. Hope I've been helpful. As you know, I'm here every day. Feel free to call. I'll gladly help in any way I can. Good night, everyone.